Good morning. So, second day of the little South Wales adventure. We've actually come to a place not far from Tenby. It's called the Church Door Cove. What we're hoping to see here is a giant sea stack, so called a church door because it's the shape of it, but big massive sea stack should create some good photography opportunities. So we're just making our way down to the beach now, which as I get around this corner you'll actually get a bit of a view of what we're looking for. That's the one, as you see, right down there. We're hoping to get a few nice shots of that. Would have been nice to have the tide in a bit more, but you can't have everything. And that's going to be the first location for us to visit today. Hopefully we'll get some nice shots of that. And then make our way to a church that's actually built in the cliff, which looks to be an interesting building. Well, let's see what we can see. There it is, the Church Door Cove. Looks pretty stunning as it is. Would be a little better with the tide in a bit more water around it, but I reckon we're going to get some good shots of it. We've already seen a couple of good compositions. First one being from basically where Mark is here. Looking through, you've got the cliff illuminated in the background. I also think kind of a diagonal shot over there looking through the door on a sideward angle and getting the jagged cliffs and everything in the background. We're going to get lined up with a shot or two and then we're going to go have a closer look at the actual stack itself, see what's around it, see what images we can get near it as well. First composition I'm going for is a relatively straightforward one. I'm looking straight at the sea stack. Now we are almost shooting into the sun because the sun's just up here, so it's not quite in our faces, but it's just causing enough issues with the with the glare to blind us. Now I'm zoomed into a point where I've pretty much just got the sea stack, a bit of the sky, and a lot of these green rocks that are covered in the algae that are surrounding us. Using the rocks as a lead up to the sea stack. One shot, no need to focus stack it or anything like that. F9. I think that's making for a good shot. At least for a good first shot. Next shot I'm going to do, I'm going to move around a bit and get kind of an angle on it. To try and get a little bit more of the jagged formations that we've got behind it. Hopefully, given the harshness of the light, hopefully that'll work out. I haven't decided yet if this is going to be colour or black and white though. That's something I'm going to decide in post later on. You know that thing where you look at a composition and you think it looks like a good composition. When you get up close and personal to it, it's actually shit. Well, I've had a couple of those, but I've got really close to the sea stacks now. Shooting at 17mm with the polarizer bringing out the greens in the foreground and taking all the reflected light off the rocks. Now I've just got the sun in the corner. Now I've done my best to mitigate any flare activity. I've increased my aperture to 18 so that you actually get the aperture blades showing up, creating a sunburst on the sun. That, if I can bring out the shadows of the image, should create a nice image. We'll have to see how that looks on the computer. If it is any good, that'll come up next. Now I'm going to have one more try at an exposure. I'm going to go over to the sea edge and I'm going to try and get a look at it, looking back, and try and get a long exposure of the sea coming in to smooth out the water. That may or may not work in this light, but it's worth giving a go. Come down to the seafront now. It's completely wiped out the view of the sea stack, but I've still got that head behind me. And using these rocks as foreground interest, as you can see, there's a nice strip of rock going across the image into the sea. Those rock formations look really cool, really nice, and they contrast nicely with that green up there. I'm going for a 2-second exposure at f22. I can really soften the sea out. I can create a nice soft water effect as the tide comes in. Now I'm just waiting for those two people in the background to disappear because I don't want to have to Photoshop them out if I can help it. I'm getting some nice blue sky in the image, but I may do a bit of cheating. I may do some sky replacement later on, just to get the actual sort of sky I want. But the actual image itself, I'm pretty impressed with so far. Now, if I had a bigger stop ND filter than a 6-stop, I could really smooth the water out, but I don't want to smooth it out too much. I want to leave some detail in it. I may change my aspect slightly to look out to sea more and get more of a line on that bit of rocks that you can see there. Looking on the back of the camera, I'm actually pretty impressed with those two photos I've got. It may need some sky replacement because the sky is pretty overexposed. Now there's not really a lot I can do about that without a bigger ND filter. The problem with the bigger ND filter is that I'd lose the detail that I want in the water. Now, I could have blended several different photos, but I'm going to have to wait and see. I'm going to have to see how it looks when I edit it. If I can bring out the blue in the sky, then that'll be fine. If I can't, I'm going to have to replace it with a different image. But if I do a sky replacement, it will be one of my own images, so I don't really mind doing that since I took both photos anyway. Sometimes you do have to cheat a little to get the image you want. I have no problem with that, and I don't think you should care if anybody else does. If I can edit the original and bring out the detail that I want in it, it'll be the original. But either way, those two shots, they'll be coming up momentarily, and we're going to head to our next destination. Now, I want to say it's going to be the chapel in the cliff, but we're not really planning the trip in that much detail. So if we see something on the way, then it'll be whatever we see on the way. Maybe to the church in the rock. I'm not sure of the name of it. If I remember, when I edit the video, I'll actually put the name of it up. But we made it to the little church in the rock. I think it's Cruven's Church or something like that. Whatever it's called, it's down there, in that bay there, just built into the cliff. Now, we're not walking down because it's a long way down, and believe it or not, it's a really hot day today, so we're feeling a bit lazy. We're not feeling like hiking back up, especially when most of what we actually want to see in this area is up above us. But I'm just making my way to the cliff edge here and hoping none of it falls while I'm actually stood on it. But I'll just show you over here. It's a long way down, but the actual church itself is back this way, down below me. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some I'm going to get my camera and tripod set up in such a way that I can actually photograph the church from the front, and then I'm going to do what Mark's doing in the background. I'm going to stand on the cliffside looking over the church roof at that stack that's got those birds on there. I reckon that'll be a good shot. I also think, as we come around the cliff edge, being careful not to get too close to the edge, I reckon there's a nice shot to be had over here. You see, you've got the stack sort of there with the birds on. You got all the sea around the around those old stacks and whatever there. That's frothing up nicely. I reckon some nice shots can be got there. So what I want to do, I'm going to do it in some sort of order. I'm actually going to get my first shot here, or at least roughly here, looking towards that stack and getting the bay in. My second shot's going to be of the church looking down towards it, and the third shot I'll be looking over the church towards that stack there. I'll talk you through those shots that I got through them, because I need to pick my spot first and talk you through my thinking. Next shot I'm actually going for, I'll just turn you around. It's actually that kind of composition, although I am zoomed in a bit more on the camera. I'm basically looking at the church head on from above. Now everybody pretty much goes down to the beach there and photographs it looking head on. I don't want a shot that everybody's got. I actually want my shot. So I'm actually sat on this bit of headland that's looking down at it. It's a little precarious because there is a big crack just behind me. Hey? Yeah, there is a big crack just behind me in this. It makes it look like it's going to drop any minute, so it's a little precarious. Mark has promised to retrieve my GoPro and edit the photos for me if it falls. So that's this shot anyway. I'll put that up now and I'll come on to the final shot, which is going to be looking over the roof towards that stack behind me. Okay, so the last shot I'm going to get from here, if I turn you around again. There you go, that's kind of shot I'm going for, with the stairs leading down towards the church roof and the stack in the distance. Now, I'm doing that in portrait orientation to actually kind of create a sense of scale, create a sense of depth in the image, bottom to top. I think portrait orientation actually works a lot better for that. The landscape orientation wouldn't make any sense to the scene because you've just got rocks either side. With a portrait orientation, you've got the steps, you've got the church, and you've got the stack in the distance. So those elements all work together better. Hopefully that's going to turn out well. I'm not going to know until I actually edit them later on. We'll see. Either way, here it comes. So we're finished at St Covan's Church. We're now making our way to Huntsman's Leap, which we're hoping to get some nice photos, which I imagine will be something very similar to what I'm seeing behind me there. Now the Huntsman's Leap, I think it's about 6 to 8 feet across, and people sort of jump across it. I don't think I'll be doing that today. A fat middle-aged YouTuber with a camera jumping across a narrow ravine probably ain't going to be a good thing. Might get the views in, but yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. But yeah, we're just making our way to that now. It's a little under half a mile of walk, which with the way the sun's beating down on us at the moment, it's a bit of a strenuous one, but we're certainly getting our steps in today. According to my watch, I've already done 7,000 steps today. That's quite a lot for me by lunchtime. Now, once we've seen Huntsman's Leap, I think we'll be getting some lunch and then deciding what to do for the rest of the day. The next main thing I want to do, there's some sea stacks that do need photographing at sunset. It just depends how the sunset's going to look, as always. But for now, let's go and have a look at this Huntsman's Leap. I still don't think I'm going to be brave enough to try and jump over it, but I reckon there's a nice shot to be had here. What I might do, I might get Mark to stand on the edge over there in my shot, and I'll do the same in return for him. Show the sense of scale of it. Now, composition wise, it's relatively straightforward. You're looking straight on, take the photograph, away you go. And I'm thinking, where Mark's setting up there behind me, that's probably one of the best shots for it. It's been done a million times, I think. Any further this way, you can't actually see through the actual gap. There's a reason some of these are iconic shots, and that's because everybody does them. So we're going to get the shot. It's relatively straightforward, just a simple shot of the thing, so I'll put that up now for you. We've just got back to the campsite. Now this part of Pembrokeshire is something of a microclimate, so we've got some serious mist. I mean, we can't even see the next field at the moment. Never mind down to where we shot the sunset last night. So Mark and I have decided to cut down our tents and sleep in the cars tonight. There is supposed to be a storm front moving over. It's not supposed to be near us, but given the look of it at the moment and how much wind there is at the moment, we thought it'd be best to drop the tents, sleep in the cars, and play it by ear for tomorrow. See what kind of conditions we get. It'd be a shame to cut the trip short, but if that's what has to happen, then safety first and all that. We came here for a relaxing weekend, not a drowning. So yeah, we're going to get some tea tonight. I don't think there'll be any more images, unfortunately, no more photos or anything. But tomorrow, I'll have to see what happens. If I am heading home, then I will be dropping off somewhere on the way home to get a couple of images in, and then making my way home. But we'll see. I mean, tomorrow's another day, so we'll see what happens overnight. In the meantime, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the photos and the locations, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.